Alrighty, so this is the time again. We got the number 6 game in my top 15 trailer choices from the Video Game Awards. I'm going to go through them as fast as possible. I'm going to say this as fast as possible because I don't know if I'm going to cut this up into small videos or if I'm going to do it into one big video to be posted onto YouTube and Twitch. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, and let me know what you think about this game. Let's talk about it. And if you're watching on Twitch, leave a comment, hit follow, let me know what you think there. So like I said, Friday, Saturday, Sundays, play live. Normally I do playthroughs, then I do a review at the end of it, but we're doing something different today. We're doing a review of these top 15 trailers. Let's get on into it. Hopefully I said that fast enough. Anthem could have good universe. Let's hope. Let's hope. Bam! Alright, so the number 6 trailer I have picked is a game called Scavengers. I thought it looked really interesting. It looked very unique. So let's take a look at it. Let's check it out. Let me know in Twitch chat live what you think. Midwinter. Brr. Only possible with Spatial OS. What is that? Because we're in space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Fealty Enterprise. It's more like Deep Space Nine with that spaceship. I love space games. Love them. Why are they wearing furs? Oh, that's gonna break. You didn't button that one up good. Very loud. Oh, that poor tree. Ooh. Man. There'd be no way you could survive that. The little kind of seat belt thing is not gonna be keeping you in place good enough for the G-forces you would receive from landing that hard on the ground. Alright, so we got a bow, we got a sniper. Looks very ninja-esque. Cascade springs, so maybe we're on Earth here. May we return to Earth. Oh. Scavengers. Alright. Sign up now. Oh, so you can sign up for it? But for what? For like a beta or something? Let's see. No. Okay, so it doesn't say. So what do we know so far? So this is clearly the moon. Broke in half. Ripped tree 2018. Yeah. Poor tree. Poor tree. So we see the moon here. It's cut right in half. But then we do see the Earth. But when you see the Earth, look, in the line there, so we've got what looks like a gigantic storm happening here that's taking up the majority of the Earth. So I'm guessing this is showing that that thing hit the Earth and just took out all life on Earth. So people are living up in space stations or something, and they go down to the Earth to scavenger stuff down there. It doesn't really show you what gameplay is going to look like, but, I mean, looking at the textures here on the face, I mean, it looks like pretty stunning textures. I mean, there's an inside to that nose. It's not just like a dark area. Like, each tooth looks individual. Look at the lips. Like, you can see the folds on the lips in the movie scene. That's like some pretty wild textures here. But we don't know. It's not gameplay. But if this is gameplay, you know, this would be an unbelievable game, an unbelievable title. And I think this looks like, you know, characters that would be doable. But I wonder what the story's going to be. So it was so intriguing to me. That's why I had to put it at this high a level in the list of trailers. I mean, what an out of nowhere game, you know, an out of nowhere game that just, I mean, who would have saw this coming? I had no clue about this game. I never even heard of Scavengers before I saw this, you know. And once I saw space, I was like, I'm intrigued. This has to go, you know, onto the list. Interesting. Yeah, isn't it? No gameplay in trailer. Not gonna buy it. Golly. But yet, I agree though. Need to see more. I don't think I've ever heard of Midwinter Entertainment. So let's see. Midwinter Entertainment. Scavengers game. A Seattle-based independent game development studio. What have they made before? We build genre-defining games set in immersive worlds that bring shared adventures to millions of players. So they've made Scavengers. Our Work, Farmville 2. Halo 4? What? Battlefield 4? Battlefield 1? Game we created have won hundreds of awards, reached over 500 million players. What did they're owned by EA? I thought Battlefield owned EA. Was owned by EA. Vibes only. Yeah, good vibes only. Battlefield 1. They assisted probably. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Mass Effect 3 is on here. Halo Reach. I liked Halo Reach. Battlefront 2. Oh, you know, I think they made the spaceship battles in Battlefront 2. Let's see. Who made the spaceship battles in Battlefront 2? Spaceship battles. How many companions level Battlefront 2? Battlefront 2 Wikipedia. EA Dice, Criterion Games, and Motive Studios. No, so it wasn't them. No, it wasn't them. What did they make in Halo 4? It's not clickable. So, some work with those companies now source? Maybe. Halo 5 Guardians. I wish they would say what in those games they've made, because I've never heard of this game company before. And this is their out about us. Hard at work on our first game, Scavengers. So I don't know what they've made. Josh Holmes. They all look like characters in the Scavengers. That dude has the same haircut. Angel, did they make that character look like you? He has a similar haircut. Just saying, man. Just saying. I call shenanigans on that. According to Wikipedia, they don't exist. Really? Got team, join, Scavengers. They've got a Twitter account here. Let's see. We build genre stuff. So their Twitter was kind of made in February. Keeps growing. Recent explorers join our expedition. Whole team at midwinter.net. So when did this join November? So they just got onto Twitter November 2016. Maybe they mean these are games the people on their team have worked on. You know, maybe they're like a completely brand new company, and it's a company of people that came from studios that worked on all these games you see here. I think that might be what it is. I think that might be what it is. Where, that's what they're meaning by here. This studio didn't work on these. The people that work there worked on those. Let me know if anyone knows. Let me know. I'm going to hit follow on this. Just so I have it there. But let me know. The trailer looks really intriguing. But since I've never heard about this company, so I have nothing really to compare their work to. You know, but I'm not going to hold that against them. You know, I definitely am looking forward to seeing more. Because we do know that sometimes a movie scene might look amazing, but then when you get into the gameplay, you get like a thing that looks like the worst version of PUBG you've ever seen. You know, where it's very rudimentary buildings, very rudimentary everything. So, I mean, I know it's hard to make a movie like this, but, once you're then making the video game, it could be a lot different. So this is my thoughts, though, on Scavengers. I don't think there's really much else that can be said. In Twitch chat, if you want to say anything about the game, feel free. Here's your last chance there. To share about it. But yeah, so that's a little concerning, but at the same time, not holding out against them, and I am excited because I think it's kind of intriguing. Living in a spaceship, going down to the Earth. What could that storyline be like? What happened to the Earth? Is there anyone alive on the Earth still? Are you dealing with monsters of leftover living things, or did everything die? Is it like the most sparse survival game? What is the gameplay going to be? Is it a survival game? What if it is just like, sparse? This is their first project. Yeah, it said that like this is their first game, so I'm guessing that game list is all the games that people on the team worked on, which is cool. Which is cool. So I'm really just curious what the gameplay is. If anyone from the company could let me know, I would definitely love to know. I mean, I'm not anyone like insanely special, but I'm intrigued. Like, I really kind of curious. I think you have something here, and you can make something really fresh and new and interesting. I imagine how scary it could be, how dark it could be. Like, you're landing on this planet trying to scavenge, whatever you can. Maybe to keep your ship together. Maybe you gotta get metal to keep your ship together, or who knows what, I think it would be more interesting as a story game, to be honest with you, than it would be as a survival game. Because there's just so many games that are just survival games, like go down, get supplies, go back up to the ship, maybe eventually be able to craft some items and blah, blah, blah. Like, I think that's so bland. I think if you can make, they land on the planet and, make it into a movie. Maybe it doesn't need to be the most explorative game ever. It doesn't look like they're going back up to whatever ship they came from. So what happened on that ship there? Maybe everyone started fighting with each other or something, as a multiplayer co-op competition survival shooter. I hope it won't be that. Oh, man. I think it will be so interesting as a story. But if it is that, I will still be interested enough to check it out. Um, I will definitely be interested enough to check it out. You know, uh, Man, I'm kind of a little let down because the trailer is so vague with what they're trying to, do and where they're going. And I know it is just the announcement trailer, but the announcement trailer is so vivid and interesting. If you just go survival shooter, I fear that for your first game, you might fail. I think you might be better off doing a very small story game, maybe not a $60 title, but a small story game where, they land on the planet. What could happen? Maybe they go to a house. Maybe they find out that there are mutants or monsters alive in the world. Maybe even make it a scary game, where there are monsters out there. So you're going from building to building. What happens along there? Maybe you run into some humans that have survived. Make a world, make a story, make a world. Maybe there's other humans that have crashed back down to the planet like they have, because those ships don't look like they're going back together and going back up to that spaceship. I think that would be, so much more interesting. Might easily become a battle royale. Honestly, if they go competition survival shooter, it will become a battle royale. And it'll be just, I mean, survival shooters, there's so many. There's so many survival games out already, and none of them have really done crazy amazing. I mean, maybe if they make this the most beautiful one ever, the most like high definition but vivid and dark and kind of this apocalyptic world or something, it could be interesting. But definitely a little bit of wind was let out of my sails seeing survival shooter. You know, it's just seeing that, definitely a little bit of wind let out of my sails. But it does say multiplayer co-op though, so maybe it'll be a persistent battle royale where it's not just top 100 survive and fight each other with a storm coming in. Maybe it's gonna be a gigantic world to survive and live in, and whoever lives the longest on that world wins, however long that takes. You know, so if someone decides to just survive out there and live out there, with no one new getting queued into that individual match, you know, that could be kind of interesting. Like a survival game that isn't just, well, you'll have whatever you make and build here forever. You get on a server, you know, you get dropped far away from anyone else. Like no matter what, you get dropped. Like make the map crazy large. To the point that you'll be probably playing by yourself for like hours, maybe even days before you see someone. So you're like stocked. You're stocked up. If someone happens to travel the distance to get to your area, they'll be in trouble. But then eventually you do have to go out into the world and then take people on. Kind of like DayZ. I guess in a way, I'm picturing more like the survival games where there's construction, you could build a base, like Ark Survival Evolved, but competitive. And also co-op. So you could have like a team of 4 people, or a team of 2 building and stuff, and then you have to go out in the world and try and fight the first person you can see. But like something like that, I think would have to have a crazy large map. Like we're talking like a map 2 times the size of Red Dead Redemption 2. And maybe have 20 people on the server. Like really large. Large enough you're not going to run into someone else. And like the game actually like spawns you crazy far away. Like guaranteed. It won't spawn you within X amount of distance of other people. And also in between people. Like you will all spawn around like the outside or something. Just to make it like, and let people, like, if it even takes months, like, make it the most persistent thing. Like, I think that could be interesting. I don't know if people would like that, though. But that's what our comment section's for. Let me know if, would you play that, Demon? I don't know. That's what would interest, I think that would be interesting when I think of survival games. Instead of it just being like there's PvP, but then you respawn, or maybe you have to then start from scratch. But there's no, like, winning or anything to it, I need to see gameplay first. Yeah, I think this game is a wait on gameplay. We'll definitely be reviewing it again here in the future. I'll make sure to keep an eye out for things that come up in the future and explore it and talk about it more. But that's my thoughts. That's my thoughts and my rambling about it. Midwinter Games, Entertainment, I wish you the best of luck. I'm excited. It must be scary and exciting. This is your company's first game. I'm really not trying to come down on you guys. I wish you the best. I think this gaming industry needs newer companies coming out. I think a lot of games on your list, sadly, I think are not the best for the gaming world. Battlefront 2, Battlefront 1, with, the microtransaction situations that were going on with these things. Even my mom loves Farmville. My mom loved it. Now she's playing the Cafe World, I think. Because I think Farmville closed down or something. I can't remember. But she loved it. Or loves it. I don't know. She's playing the Cafe World now, though. But we need newer game companies in the world. And, if this game comes out to be really cool, or even, somewhat cool, I'll definitely be buying it and looking to support the company. So maybe Scavengers 2 is extra epic. Right now, I know you guys are trying to make a game, that you think is going to be really cool. You want to kind of come out running and stuff, and it's probably really terrifying, So I'm sure the people at the company are just racking their brains on, what can we make? What will be the thing that so we keep our doors open after this and keep on going, so we could keep on going upwards, and figure this out and do a thing. So I wish Midwinter Entertainment the best, and thank you Spatial OS for making it possible. What we see in the movie looks already interesting. All right, so that's the number 6 pick in the top 15. Let's move on to number 5. If you watch on YouTube, like I said, leave a like, leave a comment. If you watch on Twitch, leave a comment. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I'm live. Golly gosh. Go check out the next video.